The OnePlus 5 was just announced with quite a lot of improvements, so let's talk about them in this video. The two of the big improvements that you're going to be seeing as soon as you see the phone are the new design as well as the new camera. So design wise, the front of it looks exactly the same as the 3T. It basically looks like this, but pretty much all of the design changes are at the back of the phone. So it's got a lot of inspiration from the iPhone, obviously. As you can see, cameras have been moved up to the top left and they're now dual cameras. The antenna lines are moving along the curvature of the phone as it is with the iPhone. And the colours are now black or slightly less black, so you're not going to be able to see these antenna lines. The back of the phone is also curved slightly now, kind of like what you'd see on something like the S8. So it's going to feel thinner in the hand, and it's also going to be better to hold too. And the phone actually is thinner. It's now 7.25mm, which is really thin. And it's the thinnest OnePlus phone that they've made so far. And moving on to the camera, OnePlus is definitely focused on the camera, or cameras, with this phone. So, as I said, it's dual cameras. There's now a 20 megapixel telephoto camera, as well as a 60 megapixel wide angle camera. And as you could probably guess from the fact that one of them is a telephoto camera, one of them is going to be used for 1x zoom, and the other one's going to be used for 2x zoom. So there's going to be a button that you're going to be able to press to move between both of these, kind of like on the iPhone again. But that isn't the only use for the dual cameras though. They're also going to be used to measure depth better, so autofocus is going to be a lot faster apparently. And these are actually the highest resolution dual cameras available on the market currently, so you're going to be able to zoom in digitally quite a bit too. Portrait mode has also been added, although according to some reviews that I saw before the making of this video, it doesn't seem like it's the best. It doesn't really seem to work that well and it looks a bit fake. There's no optical image stabilization too, which is going to make for shaky videos at 4K. There is digital stabilization at 1080p, but it doesn't really look that good. So yeah, that's a bit of a shame really. And it's also going to make photos at low light not as good too, because obviously the shutter speed is going to be slower. Although they have been able to bring up the shutter speed a bit because the aperture size for the wide angle lens is now a bit bigger. Other notable changes are actually with the display. So it is still a 5.5 inch 1080p display. They haven't actually moved it above 1080p, which I'm actually fine with. I'm not too bothered about that at all, because the PPI is still pretty high, so you're still not seeing any pixels, and it is saving on battery life. I do wish though that they would have shrunk the bezels a bit. This is the direction that phones are going in, with things like the S8 having super small bezels. So it would be nice if they did go in that direction, but I do think with the next generation they are probably going to go in that direction, because that's just the way phones are going. But as I said, they did add a few things to the screen. It's not exactly the same. So they did add the P3 Color Gamut, or the ability for the screen to show that. So there are going to be a wide range of colours available to this phone. And there's also a new reading mode, which uses the warmth of the light around the phone to basically say how warm the white should be on the phone. So basically, if the room's warm, if there's lots of yellow light, the whites are going to look more yellow on the phone, as well as if there's more blue light, the whites on the phone are going to look more blue. There's also some other pretty nice internal changes too. So the storage options are the same. There's 64GB and there's 128GB. Although the storage is now a lot faster, almost twice as fast. So that should really help out a lot. The 64GB variant still comes with 6GB of RAM, as was the case with the 3T. Although now the 128GB version comes with 8GB of RAM. So you're going to be getting more RAM. I don't really see that this is a big deal. 6GB of RAM is still a lot more than what you'd get on other Android phones. The battery is slightly smaller at 3300 mAh as opposed to 3400 mAh. But this actually doesn't really matter because the processor is a lot more efficient, so the battery life should actually be longer on this phone. There's also now Bluetooth 5.0, which means that you're going to be able to do things like connect to two Bluetooth devices at the same time. You're supposed to be getting extra range, the speed's supposed to be faster, and a few other things. There's a video that MKBHD did about Bluetooth 5.0 that I'll link in the description down below if you want to know more about Bluetooth 5.0. But that's it for this video. Those are the changes for the OnePlus 5. Do you think the OnePlus 5 is pretty good? Do you think it's worth getting over something like the OnePlus 3T or a more expensive phone such as the Samsung Galaxy S8? That, by the way, I'm going to be doing a review of this very soon, so be sure to subscribe to see when that comes out. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you all have a great day. Be sure to, again, leave your comments down below, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.